morning students, welcome back to the physics class. Before going to start the class, I would like to give a warm-up session for you about magnets. So please see the below data. Magnets, no doubt its behavior will attract everyone. The world enjoys its benefits to lead a modern luxury life. Historically, the word magnetism derived from iron ore magnetite. The magnetism word is derived from iron ore magnetite. In olden days, magnets are used for navigation purpose, magnetic therapy purpose, and some magic shows. So, in modern days, magnets are using almost all electronic devices like loudspeakers, motors, TVs, all the electronic devices almost these magnets are using. So we know already magnets having attractive behavior because it will attract so many materials, and because of this magnets luxury life is very easy, because in rich person's house which material having, in that materials almost are using these magnets. Okay, so this magnetism is word is derived from magnetite, and in olden days these magnets are used in for only navigation purpose, magnetic therapy, for treatment purpose, and some magic shows. But nowadays these magnets are using in almost all the electronic devices. Today I will start our third chapter, third unit, magnetism and magnetic effects of electric current. Okay, in this chapter few topics today we are going to learn. Today our learning objective is basic properties of magnets. So today's class we are going to learn properties of magnets. Basic properties of magnets. Now first one is magnetic dipole moment, second one magnetic field, and last one types of magnets. About this concept today we are going to learn. First basic property of the magnet is magnetic dipole moment. Okay, now we should learn about this concept. First of all, before giving to you the explanation about this topic, all of you please see the diagram. In this diagram or in this figure, this is the figure of a magnet. Okay, so this magnet having two poles, two poles. One is the south pole and another one is the north pole. South pole here I indicated as a S, and north pole I indicated an N. So capital S is the south pole and capital N is the north pole, and each pole having pole strength. Remember, each pole having pole strength. Okay, pole strength will be denoted as a Q suffix M. Q suffix M. If you see the figure means you will be understood. Q suffix M, I denoted Q suffix M. It is a pole strength, each pole having that pole strength. So that QM I indicated as a, I indicated at south pole, at the same time I indicated at north pole. Q suffix M, that is the pole strength. Okay, each and every pole having pole strength. Okay, So you have doubt, what is the pole strength, master? Pole strength is nothing but a magnetic charge. Okay, pole strength is nothing but a magnetic charge. Like in electrostatics lesson unit 1, I told you there, each and every electron having an electric charge, correct? Electric charge. Like that, here also each and every pole having magnetic charge. Magnetic charge, the another name of the magnetic charge is nothing but a pole strength. Okay, in that lesson electric charge, here this is the magnetic charge. So another name of the magnetic charge, what? Pole strength. Okay, so each and every pole having pole strength. So in our figure, south pole also having pole strength and north pole also having pole strength. Okay, and the midpoint of the center of the magnet is O. I indicated here the center of the magnet is O, and the distance between the center of the magnet to pole, the distance between the center of the magnet to any one pole is L. Okay, and the total length, that means the distance between the two poles, is 2L. Usually the distance between the center to pole is L. So the distance between the center to south pole L, and the distance between the center to north pole also L. So what is the total length in between the two poles? L plus L, 2L. So the 2L is the magnetic length. Remember, the 2L is the magnetic length. Okay, now here what I told in this figure, that is the magnet. That magnet having two poles, south pole and north pole. South pole also having pole strength and north pole also having pole strength. Okay, pole strength usually we are indicating as a Q suffix M, and the 2L is nothing but a magnetic length. The 2L is nothing but a magnetic length. That means what is the 2L actually? The distance between the two poles. The distance between the two poles of a magnet is called magnetic length. That magnetic length we denoted as a here 2L. Okay, now we should enter into our topic actually, magnetic dipole moment. So first of all we should see what is the definition of the magnetic dipole moment. Okay, the dipole moment is defined as the product of pole strength and magnetic length. The dipole moment is defined as product of pole strength and magnetic length. I told you already what is the pole strength and what is the magnetic length. Here we are indicating pole strength is Q suffix M and magnetic length 2L. So what is the magnetic dipole moment? Product of pole strength and magnetic length. So product means into pole strength we should denoting as a Q suffix M, and magnetic length we are denoting as a 2L. So finally what is the formula of this magnetic dipole moment? 2L into Q suffix M. 2L into Q suffix M, otherwise Q suffix M into 2L. Okay, now this magnetic dipole moment is defined as P suffix M. This magnetic dipole moment is defined as P suffix M. Okay, and this magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity. This magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity. That means this magnetic dipole moment having direction and magnitude also. Okay, now I will tell you the formula of this magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment, which term we are denoting? P suffix M, correct? So P suffix M is equal to, what is the formula of magnetic dipole moment? Already I told you, Q suffix M into 2L, pole strength into magnetic length. pole strength we are denoting as a Q suffix m, and magnetic length is 2L. So Q suffix m into 2L, that is the formula of magnetic dipole moment. So what is the final formula? P suffix m is equal to Q suffix m into 2L. That is the formula of magnetic dipole moment. And remember, this magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity. Okay, the SI unit of magnetic moment is ampere meter square. Ampere meter square. A m square. Ampere means A, meter square means m square. So the SI unit of magnetic moment is ampere meter square, am square. Okay, the direction of magnetic moment is from always, the direction of the magnetic dipole moment always south pole to north pole. Direction of the magnetic moment is always from south pole to north pole. Remember, it is a very important one more question. The direction of the magnetic dipole moment is always from south pole to north pole. Okay, this is the explanation about magnetic dipole moment. Next one is magnetic field. Now we should learn about this topic. Now, first of all, please see the figure. In this figure, having a magnet, that surrounding region of that magnet having some magnetic attraction power. Correct. So what I am going to tell is that magnet having attraction power in the surrounding region. So that surrounding region, how much region having the attraction power of the magnet, that is the magnetic field. That is the magnetic field. Please see, here I gave one sentence. Magnetic field is the region or space around every magnet. So each and every magnet having some attraction power around the region. Okay, that is the magnetic field. This topic is similar to the electric field in the electrostatics lesson. What I told there, each and every charge having some field around this region. So that is the electric field, like that I told there. Same here also, each and every magnet having some amount of attraction power, some amount of field around their region. Okay, so that is the magnetic field. Magnetic field is the region or space around every magnet. Okay, here I mentioned the definition of the magnetic field. We'll see now. First of all, once again see the figure. That violet color is the magnet. Around that magnet, some black color region is there. That is the magnetic field. Correct. So in that magnetic field, any one particular point in that magnetic field, at any one particular point, I have to find the magnetic field. I have to find the magnetic field. So at that any particular point, the definition of the magnetic field is, magnetic field is defined as force experienced by bar magnet. The magnetic field is defined as force experienced by the bar magnet of unit pole strength. Magnetic field is defined as magnetic field. Magnetic field is defined as force experienced by the bar magnet of unit pole strength. Force experienced by the bar magnet. That means force means what? F. Force experienced by the bar magnet of unit pole strength. Unit pole strength. So pole strength we can denote as a Q suffix m. So the magnetic field is defined as force experienced by the bar magnet of unit pole strength means F by Q suffix M. Force experienced by bar magnet of unit pole strength. Okay, so F divided by Q suffix M, and magnetic field is denoted as a capital B. Magnetic field we can denote as a capital B. Okay, so that is the definition. Magnetic field is defined as force experienced by the bar magnet of unit pole strength. That is the definition. And the formula of this magnetic field is, magnetic field I already told we can denote as a capital B. So capital B is equal to F by Q suffix M. This is the formula of the magnetic field. Okay, in the electrostatics lesson, what is the electric field formula? E is equal to F by Q. E is the electric field, F is the force, Q is the charge. Same to same. Correct, no? But instead of E, here B is there. Instead of Q, Q suffix M is there. Remember that. Okay. So here what is the formula? B is equal to F by Q suffix M. B is the magnetic field, F is the force, and Q suffix M is the pole strength. Okay, so that is the definition. Magnetic field is defined as force experienced by the bar magnet of unit pole strength. That is the definition. It is denoted as a capital B, and capital B is equal to F by Q suffix M. This is the formula of the magnetic field. Okay, so finally you can remember only one point. Magnetic field is the region or space around every magnet. That means magnet having some attraction power around this region. Okay, that is the magnetic field. Okay, next one is types of magnets. Magnets are classified into two types. That is, first one is the natural magnets and second one is the artificial magnets. First of all, I would like to explain about natural magnets. Now, the strength of the natural magnets are very low. Strength means attraction power. The attractive power of the natural magnets is very low. Okay, and this natural magnets having irregular shape and size. So it's not having a particular shape and particular size. Okay, and the example of the natural magnets are cobalt, nickel, and iron. Okay, so these are the examples of the natural magnets. So this is the explanation about the natural magnets. Okay, artificial magnets. Artificial magnets are man-made magnets. Okay, these magnets are prepared by man. Strength of the magnets are high. Actually, these magnets are preparing by man, humans, correct? So why the strength of the magnets is high means how much attraction power we need, that much we should give to that magnet and we should produce that magnet. Okay, so only the strength of the magnets are high. And these artificial magnets having particular shape and size also, which size we need and which shape we need, we can produce that magnet like that. Suppose I need cylindrical shape, so I will produce cylindrical shaped magnet. I need circular magnet, so I will produce the circular magnet. I need bar magnet, so I will produce the bar magnet like a lion. Okay, and the examples of the artificial magnets are bar magnets and cylindrical magnets. Okay, these are the examples of the artificial magnets. Remember, artificial magnets is nothing but a man-made magnets. Next one is properties of magnets. Now the first point of properties of magnets is a freely suspended magnet will always point along the north-south direction. A freely suspended bar magnet will always point along the north-south direction. Please all of you see the diagram, first figure. In that figure, one magnet is suspended freely from a stand. So the freely suspended magnet is showing which direction? North and south direction. Okay, so for our confirmation, in that figure he mentioned the compass needle also. We know already the compass will shows always the direction is north south direction, correct? The compass needle always will show north south direction. At the same time, a freely suspended magnet always will shows the direction of north south direction. I told you this class only when I started this class. First, in olden days, the magnets used for the navigation purpose, correct? No, like this only. So in olden days they used magnets to identify the directions, navigations like this. Okay, so what is the first point? A freely suspended bar magnet will always point along the north to south direction. Next one, at the ends of the bar magnet attraction power is more. At the ends of the bar magnet attraction power is more compared to middle of the magnet, compared to center of the magnet. Okay, will you see the second diagram? In that second diagram, what you observe there, one white paper is there. On the white paper, so much iron material is there. So much iron material is there. At the center of the paper, he placed one magnet. He placed one magnet. Will you please observe the iron material is attracted so much at the ends of the magnet compared to middle. That iron metal is attracted so much of that magnet only at the ends compared to middle. Okay, so for what purpose the iron material is attracted at the ends? Because ends of the magnet having more attractive power compared to center. Okay, so that ends only we are calling as the poles, south pole and north pole. Okay, so remember this point. At the ends of the bar magnet, attraction power is more compared to the middle of the magnet. Now third one, it is important. When a magnet is broken into pieces, when a magnet is broken into pieces, each piece behaves like a magnet with poles at its ends. Okay, suppose please all of you see the third figure. That is a bar magnet. Okay, that bar magnet having two poles, south pole and north pole, and that bar magnet having the magnetic length also. What is that? 2L. That bar magnet is broken. Okay, that bar magnet is broken. After broken, the bar magnet is became two pieces. Okay, one bar magnet is broken. From that bar magnet, after broken, the bar magnet will become a two pieces. Okay, after broken, two pieces are there. Two pieces are came from the bar magnet. So according to our point, when a magnet is broken into pieces, each piece behaves like a magnet. So what will happen? That two pieces will behave like a separate magnets with poles, also. Whenever the bar magnet is broken into two pieces, each piece is acting like a magnet with poles. Means before breaking the magnet having two poles, south pole and north pole. Even though the magnet is broken also, after breaking, that magnet will be behave as a magnet. That means two pieces will behave as a magnets. That after broken, two pieces came from the bar magnet. So whenever the bar magnet is broken, at that time the two small pieces came from the bar magnet. The two small pieces will be acting as a separate magnets. That means one piece also having south pole and north pole, and another piece also having south pole and north pole. Okay, so whenever it is breaking, after that that pieces also will be act as a magnet. That means whenever the magnet is broken, automatically that pieces will be form the poles, south pole and north pole, and another piece also will form south pole and north pole. Okay, so remember this point: when a magnet is broken into pieces, each piece behaves like a magnet with the poles at its ends. Fourth point of the properties of the magnets: two pieces of a magnet have pole strength equal to one another. So I already told you, each and every magnet having two poles, and each and every pole having magnetic pole strength. So in this fourth point, what it is telling: two poles of a magnet have pole strength. Yes, we know that, equal to one another. So both the pole strengths are equal, same. Okay, so please see the diagram below. That magnet bar, that is the bar magnet, that bar magnet having two poles, south and north, the two poles having pole strengths qm, so that pole strength is same. Okay, now fifth point is the length of the bar magnet is called geometrical length. The length of the bar magnet is called geometrical length. Will you please see? Okay, first of all, see the fifth point. The length of the bar magnet is called geometrical length, and the length between the two magnets, two magnetic poles, is called magnetic length. Once again, the length of the bar magnet is called geometrical length. Okay, and length between the two magnetic poles is called magnetic length. I told you already the distance between the two poles, south pole and north pole. Otherwise, the length between the two poles, south pole and north pole, is called magnetic length. Okay, it is a little bit confusion. Remember carefully. The length between the south pole and north pole is called magnetic length. Okay, and the length of the bar magnet. Bar magnet length means this end to end, one end of the bar magnet to another end of the bar magnet. You can observe the diagram figure clearly. The poles is not in ends. The poles of the magnets are not at ends. Little bit it is inside of the magnet. And south pole, will you see? The south pole is where it is little bit inside of the magnet only, not at end of the magnet. That north pole also little bit inside of the magnet only, not at the end of the magnet. Correct? No. So the length between the two poles, south and north, is called the magnetic length. At the same time, total bar magnet length means end of the magnet to one end of the magnet to another end to end, not in between the poles. Okay, that is the geometrical length. Once again, the length of the bar magnet is called geometrical length. Length of the bar magnet means end to end, and length between the two magnetic poles is called magnetic length. Okay, I hope you got the clarity now. What is the magnetic length and what is the geometric length? Okay, so magnetic length is the length between the two poles, south and north. Geometrical length means length of the bar magnet, end to end. Okay, and sixth point is always the magnetic length is slightly smaller than geometrical length. So always the magnetic length is slightly smaller, because magnetic length means length between the poles. Geometrical length means length of the bar magnet. So always poles will be inside of the magnet only. So for that reason, always the magnetic length is slightly smaller than the geometrical length. Okay, and next one, the ratio of magnetic length and geometrical length is 5 by 6. The ratio of magnetic length and geometrical length is 5 by 6. So you know already what is the magnetic length, you know already what is geometrical length. The ratio between both is how much? 5 by 6. Next concept is magnetic field lines. First point in this topic, magnetic field lines are continuous closed curves. The direction of magnetic field lines from north pole to south pole outside of the magnet and south pole to north pole inside of the magnet. Please see the diagram once. That is a magnet. That magnet having the surrounding region some amount of magnetic field. We know already the magnetic field is the form of magnetic field lines. Like I told you in the electrostatics lesson, electric field is in the form of electric field lines, correct? Like that, here also the magnetic field is in the form of magnetic field lines. So here the magnet having that magnet, here I placed a magnet, that magnet having some amount of magnetic field around this region. That magnetic field I indicated as in the form of magnetic field lines. Okay, so see the first point now, magnetic field lines are continuous closed curves. That each and every magnetic field line is the continuous closed curve only, no, it is closed only. The direction of magnetic field lines from north pole to south pole outside of the magnet. So will you observe the magnetic field lines, each and every magnetic field line, the direction at what side to what side, at which side to which side it is moving, north pole to south pole. Please see the arrow marks. Okay, then outside of the magnet, suppose will you take one magnetic line, that magnetic line is starting from north pole and it is moving towards the south pole, and again at the south pole side that magnetic field line is entering inside of the magnet, correct? Now entering inside of the magnet, then inside of the magnet what is the magnetic field line? South pole to north pole. Okay, outside of the magnet the magnetic field line direction is north pole to south pole. Here arrow mark I indicated. Okay, but when the magnetic field line is entering inside of the magnet at the south pole, that magnetic field line is moving towards the north pole. So inside of the magnet the direction of the magnetic field line is south pole to north pole, outside of the magnet north pole to south pole. Okay, remember that. And second point, the magnetic field lines never intersect each other. Magnetic field lines, even you can see the diagram, any one line is intersect? No, it won't intersect, it's never intersect. Okay, will you observe the figure, each and every magnetic line having their own path, it's not intersect. Okay, and third one, the magnetic field is strong where magnetic field lines are crowd. Where the magnetic field lines are more, their magnetic field is strong. That means magnetic attraction power is stronger. Where the magnetic field lines is less, their magnetic field is less. That means I already told you, magnet having poles, at the poles having more attraction power. That means at the poles the magnetic field lines are more, so the magnetic field also more at the poles. Okay, remember once again, please see the third point, the magnetic field is strong where the magnetic field lines are crowd. Crowd means more. And the magnetic field lines are less where the magnetic field lines are less, their magnetic field is weak. Okay, magnetic field lines are more means at that point magnetic field is more. Magnetic field lines are less means at that point magnetic field is weak. Okay, from last 20 minutes onwards what we discussed, once again I will revise for you the basic properties of magnets. What is the basic properties of magnets? Magnetic dipole moment, types of magnets, and magnetic field. So first of all, what I told, magnetic dipole moment, the product of pole strength and magnetic length is called magnetic dipole moment, and it is a vector quantity. The formula of the magnetic dipole moment is P bar is equal to Q suffix m into 2L. And next one, magnetic field. Magnetic field is nothing but a space or region surrounded by the magnet is called magnetic field. Otherwise, I told you one definition of the magnetic field: the force experienced by the magnet to a unit pole strength is called magnetic field at any point in the region. Now, magnetic field we indicated as capital B. So, capital B is equal to F by Q suffix m. That is the formula of magnetic field. And next one is the types of magnets. Magnets are two types: natural magnets and artificial magnets. Correct. So, natural magnets having very low strength and it's not having particular shape and size. And examples of the natural magnets are iron. And next one is the artificial magnets. Artificial magnets is nothing but a man-made magnets. Correct. These magnets having particular shape and size. Example of these artificial magnets are cylindrical magnets and bar magnets. Not only these three properties of the magnets, I explained other properties also. That is, a freely suspended magnet always shows north to south direction, and the attraction power of the magnet is more at the ends of the magnet compared to middle of the magnet. Correct. And magnetic field lines. Magnetic field lines. What I told about the magnetic field lines, the direction of the magnetic field lines is always from north pole to south pole outside of the magnet, and inside of the magnet it is south pole to north pole. Okay, and where the magnetic field lines are crowded, their magnetic field is more, and where the magnetic field lines are less, their magnetic field is less. Okay, you can remember this point, it is important. Always the magnetic field lines never intersect. Always the magnetic field lines never intersect. Okay, this is the explanation about what I explained from last 20 minutes onwards. I hope you guys have understood this class. If you have any doubts means after watching the video, please ask. Thank you.